Mark O'Donnell was just 16 when he was baptized as a Jehovah's Witness in 1984. Like many witness teens, he believed that he was dedicating his life to a loving, protective, spiritual family. But in 2024, that same organization started a process to sue him for millions of dollars in an effort to shamelessly silence him. His crime? Speaking out about this religion's terrifying issue with CSA. This religion is suing one of the biggest apostates alive today. So here is everything you need to know about the Pennsylvania case that is so damaging, that has made one religion target one single man, and how you can help out against the bullying that this cult is doing. This all starts when Mark saw the dark side of the organization's inner circle. As a young Jehovah's Witness, he was fully indoctrinated into the religion until he witnessed how elders in his congregation used the authority they had to exploit and harm young members. So Mark did what any responsible Jehovah's Witness would do. He reported the inappropriate conduct to the other elders. And that is when he found out about something pretty much every ex-Jehovah's Witness knows. Instead of alerting the proper authorities, the elders blamed Mark, silencing him, and let the misconduct continue. By 2001, at least 7 women had filed civil suits against the elder that Mark had originally reported, all while the organization tried to keep these incidents under wraps. Fast forward to March 2019, The Atlantic publishes an expose revealing a secret internal registry kept by the Watchtower legal team. A list documenting alleged wrongdoers within the faith, what we call the Jehovah's Witness CSA Database, with Mark as a vital part of the article. But as we all know, you are not allowed to speak out against this religion, so the backlash came fast. Elders showed up unannounced at his door, threatening disfellowshipping for daring to speak to the press. However, the cat was out of the bag already. The Pennsylvania's Attorney General was paying attention. After the groundbreaking Catholic Church inquiry, the state launched a new grand inquiry probe, this time into the Jehovah's Witnesses. The religion could kick out Mark, but the truth was already out. The government was already involved. Consequences were already inevitable. In July 2019, Mark met with the Deputy Attorney General and investigators, handing over hundreds of pages of internal policies and correspondence. A month later, he was in the state capitol providing sworn testimony to the 45th Investigative Grand Jury. For over 2 hours, Mark explained to them how the Jehovah's Witnesses operate, a tightly controlled hierarchy where decisions flow from the governing body at the top down to the local elders. And he explained what we as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses know too well, that the system doesn't protect children. It is instead designed to shield wrongdoers and preserve the organization's image. The most explosive evidence? A 1989 confidential letter from Watchtower's legal team instructing elders not to cooperate with police inquiries, and a 1997 directive ordering congregations to maintain a secret list of suspected individuals never to be shared with law enforcement. Now, it would be a disservice to reduce the Pennsylvania case to Mark's involvement. Pennsylvania's grand jury process is known to be thorough and lengthy and involve more than just this. Mark himself has written about this in his own website. But with insider testimony like Mark's and those damning documents now in persecutors' hands, the possibility of criminal charges against Watchtower officers suddenly became very real. This is what we as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses dream about, a world where the religion suffers the consequences of at least its most heinous crimes, instead of seeing the religion slip away claiming that these crimes are just isolated events. And the Pennsylvania case proved that these are not isolated events. In 2024, multiple convictions went handed down against Jehovah's Witnesses members for serious wrongdoing, thanks in part to the same grand jury investigations. You might have heard of it, since it was one of the biggest news on the ex-Jehovah's Witness sphere at the time. But now, this religion is looking for revenge. Instead of seeing this case as a cry for help and as an opportunity to fix things, as a way to improve and directly help Jehovah's Witness children, they saw it as an apostate attack. The enemies to this religion are not the sex criminals in their midst. They, if anything, deserve protection. The enemy is Mark O'Donnell for speaking out. And the solution is to sue him to oblivion, to both occupy all his time and to ruin him financially with slap suits. To this religion, Mark O'Donnell is an apostate and must be attacked and silenced. That is why, instead of worrying on fixing things inside their religion so predators always get reported to the police, they are suing him for millions of dollars. Let's read what Mark posted on his website. On Sunday morning, February 11, 2024, I was served with a civil lawsuit by 11 congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses in Pennsylvania suing me for several $million in relation to my reporting on the criminal statewide investigation of CSA within the Jehovah's Witness Church. I am scheduled to go to trial in October of this year in Philadelphia. The Jehovah's Witness filed this case in federal court in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. The Jehovah's Witness filed the case under seal, meaning the public had no access to this case. My attorneys and I were able to get this case unsealed on November 25, 2024. The case is now available to the public on Court Listener and Pacer. The Jehovah's Witnesses allege that in the course of my work as a reporter, I invaded their privacy and violated wiretap laws. My response to their complaint addresses these claims. In the litigation, the Jehovah's Witnesses have demanded that I name every Jehovah's Witness I have communicated within the last 5 years regarding the faith of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Obviously, that would reveal my journalistic sources, and I will not do so. As a reporter, protecting my sources is essential. Because of this, I have been forced to hire expert legal counsel for my defense, with costs expected to be more than $150,000. The investigation and publishing of accurate information about CSA within the Jehovah's Witness Church is essential and reflects similar reporting about other organizations and religious groups. Without this reporting, the cries of victims often go unanswered, and their stories buried beneath an illusion of justice. My mission has always been to shed light on these crimes, force change, and do so without cost to the public. While I am limited in what I can say now, I am grateful that the public can see what has happened for themselves. Mark O'Donnell. These are the lawsuits. He made the lawsuits public so anyone can see it. But to us, I think that it is time to help Mark. Mark has been behind not just the Pennsylvania case, but a lot of things that you may have heard about in the news, including a little bit of the ARC. I really don't think that any other ex-Jehovah's Witness just doing videos or whatever has done nearly the damage that Mark O'Donnell has done against the Jehovah's Witnesses by exposing their CSA cases and all of that stuff. Like the things that we talk about CSA in this religion and all of that stuff, a lot of them has been issues that Mark O'Donnell showed us. Mark O'Donnell untapped that. In fact, I have been admiring Mark O'Donnell for a long time. One of my first videos, it said that I'm not really an activist because activists are people like Mark O'Donnell who are actually doing activism and fighting behind the scenes, not to make videos, but to actually hold the organization responsible for their actions. And I don't think that there is another more obvious way that I can show you that this is what's happening than showing you that this religion considers Mark so threatening that they are targeting him directly just to silence him. So look, Mark is probably going to make a little GoFundMe or something, because obviously it is going to be very, very hard to do what he's always been doing and just do this by himself. I reached out to him and I think that this is probably what he's doing. Also, the Liberati group is able to accept tax deductible donations for his defense fund. So I will be telling you how to donate over there. But for now, he has two methods that are very, very simple for you to donate right now if you want to help him out. You can just donate him on PayPal or on Venmo. His Venmo is Mark/O'Donnell/60 and his PayPal is treadmill@comcast.net. They are appearing right now on screen. Please consider donating to him. He has really been working for a long time without asking for anything. And you may not even know that he exists, but Truth is, Mark O'Donnell is one of the biggest apostates, probably the biggest apostate according to Watchtower. It's not me, it's not Lloyd, it's Mark O'Donnell. Mark O'Donnell is the one who is trying to hold this religion accountable. And he is so dangerous from the point of view to Watchtower because he speaks out so much about CSA that Watchtower is directly trying to sue him and silence him. So let's join together. Please consider donating to him. Once we have a GoFundMe campaign, I will definitely be making a whole video about it so we can all just donate to him. But please, please, please consider donating to him. He is an amazing person and he right now needs the help of our community.